Hey guys, it's Benedict here. Today we're gonna be talking about 3 ways to lose your woman. Could be your wife, could be your girlfriend, it could be your friend with benefit, whatever. But today we're gonna be talking about 3 ways to lose your girlfriend. Um, One thing that you must realize is that what men find attractive is different from what women find attractive, and that has to do with evolution, right? It has to do with what women needed the most from men in the beginning, what men needed the most from women in the beginning, right? For survival. What you must understand is that as a man, to remain attractive in the eyes of a woman, you need to make her feel like you are the strongest, you are the wisest, you are the kind of person who can deal with pressure in a healthy way, right? So, whatever action you take in a relationship, it must also signal to her that you are the strongest, you can handle your emotions, you can deal with pressure, right? And this cannot be direct communication. You're communicating that indirect, but it's what she's gonna sense based on how you respond to things, based on what you do, based on the decisions that you make, right? So today I'm going to talk about 3 ways to lose your woman. First is insecurity, right? Um, it's very normal to feel insecure in relationships these days based on what we know so far. It's not like how it was in the 70s, in the 90s. Women are expressing themselves more now, right? They are telling us what they desire, they're telling us what they think. Back then, women weren't very vocal, right? And also, because of social media, a lot of things that we didn't know are being exposed, right? So back then, cheating was like a taboo thing, like something that you didn't even think could happen. But these days, it's something that happens very often, and with the rise of social media, it's actually becoming worse, right? So it's normal for men to feel insecure, but you have to find a healthy way to deal with your insecurities, right? So you deal with your insecurities in a way that still makes your woman still think that you're the strongest, you are the wisest, right? You know how to deal with pressure. The moment you lose the plot, the moment you make her think you're not the strongest, you're not the wisest, you don't know how to handle pressure, that's the moment that you actually lose her, right? That's the moment that she starts to actually doubt, like, is this my best option? Why is this guy not able to handle his emotions? Why is this guy so scared? Why is he so scared that I'm talking to this person? Why is he so scared that why is he so scared that there are other men who are giving me attention? Like, what makes him so scared? Those kind of questions are going to create doubt in your mind. But if you approach it in a way that still makes her think that, oh, he's strong, actually he's the best that I have, he's just protecting what he has based on what he knows. He's asking valid questions, he's showing awareness. He knows how the world works, he knows how people do things. So it shows that he's actually wise and he's trying to protect what he has, and it means that I cannot get away with double crossing him, because he will know based on how he thinks, based on what he knows and all of that. That will signal to her that you're still the strongest, you're still the smartest, you're still the best option that she has. So the problem is in insecurities. The problem is how we deal with insecurities. That's the problem. Because if, for example, your woman is talking to a guy and it makes you feel uncomfortable. Let's say you approach it with anger. Of course, that's not gonna produce good results. You are already fighting. You're already coming from a place of weakness. You're already defeated. That's what you're showing me. That I'm defeated. I'm angry. I'm so powerless. That is why I feel angry. Because people feel angry when they are powerless. You know, like people just feel angry out of nowhere. Like it has to do with powerlessness. So you come from a place of powerlessness when you're trying to deal with your insecurities. You've already lost. You've already made her look at you differently, right? Your respect will actually go down because of that. So you have to still do things that will still make her respect you the way that she used to, right? So the first thing is how you deal with insecurities. If you deal with insecurities the wrong way, then you are definitely losing the woman. All the respect for the woman, even if you don't lose her, but she won't give it to you the same, right? Secondly is how you handle yourself around other men, right? You can't be the one that other men boss around. Like it's imperative that your woman still think that you're the strongest in the group. Even if it's not true, even if it's an illusion, you create an illusion for her to believe in, right? That's what's going to give you power in the relationship. She still has to think that you're the best, right? If she doesn't think that you're the best, she might start to ask herself questions. Can I do better than this guy? You know, if he's not the best, you know, where am I going with this guy? If he's not the best, she's gonna start to notice your mistakes, you know, because you're not the best. So the mistakes that you're making because you're not the best. But if you're the best, you're making mistakes because human beings do make mistakes. So it matters a lot how you handle yourself in front of other men. Like it's actually that important, right? You can't be the one that other men are sending around, you know. Another man is your boss. That's why it actually matters how you handle yourself where you work. Even if you have a boss, bro, like your boss has to respect you in front of your woman, period. Right? He can't be bossing you around. If there's a time for you to stand up for yourself in front of your woman. And you shouldn't tell yourself that, oh, if she doesn't understand that I can be bossed around, blah 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 blah, she's not really my woman. She was like, you also have to understand nature, right? You also have to understand how nature works. You see, I remember I came across a video on TikTok of this lady saying that she was saying that imagine meeting your boyfriend's friend for the first time and you realize that he's the ice boy. He's the one that gets sent to go and get ice. So imagine how that will make you feel, right? So of course that wouldn't make you feel great. That wouldn't make her feel great. You know, she wants to think that you are the best. She wants to think that you are the leader. And even if you're not the leader, but you are someone important in the group, you know. So that's very, very important. It's important how you are perceived by your woman. Like it is that important actually. How your woman perceives you is more important than you realize. Three, you have to mind how you deal with problems in general. Like when you encounter a problem, right? It could be you losing your job. It could be a family-related matter, money-related matter. It could be sicknesses, right? You get sick. Like how you carry yourself is that important, right? Because it's gonna signal to her something, right? It's gonna signal to her whether you are a strong person or you are a weak person. So if, for example, you are sick and you know you're crying about it, you are making her think that you can deal with the problem that you're facing, right? Like you're too weak to deal with the problem that you're facing, or you lost your job, you're making her think that you can't deal with the problem that you're facing. You're crying, you know what I'm saying? Or you're dealing with something and it's making you cry. Of course, that's not gonna make her think you're the strongest, right? You have to understand that women love you because of your strength. Men love women not necessarily because of their weaknesses, but because of how they bring themselves down, right? So it's not necessarily a weakness, but it's women letting men be men. That's what men like in women. But you as a man, you have to display strength. You have to she has to know that she can really count on you. You are the strongest, right? This reminds me of the movie Spider-Man. If you watch the movie Spider-Man, you'd realize something. Um, that chick that Spider-Man wanted, just I forgot her name. She didn't love him until she realized that he was Spider-Man. So when he was Peter Parker, she just wanted to be friends, right? Because Peter Parker was this weak kid that everyone was bullying, that couldn't stand up for himself, you know. So because of that, she didn't have that much respect for him. She didn't feel safe around him. It's like most of the time she actually felt like she needed to protect him. Right? Most of the time she actually felt like she needed to protect him. But when she realized that he was Spider-Man, all of that changed. That's when she really started loving him. You as a guy, you're not doesn't matter if she's a principal of the school where she's teaching. It doesn't matter if she's like, she has this big businesses going. Like none of that matters. You don't love her for your strength, but she loves you for your strength. So realize that it's very important how you deal with your insecurities. It's very important how you handle yourself around other people, and it's very, very important how you deal with problems. Thank you. Wait for the next one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you guys.